Welcome to Quick Rip. Big B here with you once again. Hope you're doing well out there, fight fans. Hey, we had BKFC 52 go down on Friday, October 20th, and what an event they put on for us here. We had Reggie Barnett trying to defend his bantamweight belt against the one and only Keith Rockstar Richardson. That was going down in the main event. Co-main, we had Tony Soto as he was facing Kevin Kroom. And then, of course, to fill out the main card, we had a fistful of amazing fights. Heavy finishes. I believe there was only two scraps on the entire main card that made it to the judges. So it was it was good. It was good to see the squared circle back. It was good to see the action, the faces, everything about this event was just good. There really wasn't even a bad fight. There were some weird fights, and we'll get into that as I am gonna quickly recap the main card here. I'm gonna go top to bottom, starting with the main event. So let's get at it. So as mentioned, main event at BKFC 52, we had the bantamweight strap up for grabs as Reggie Barnett Jr. was taking on Keith Richardson. And if there's one word that I could say to describe this scrap, it's wow. I really don't have any other word to describe it. We had Keith Rockstar Richardson as he ends up knocking down Reggie Barnett 3 times, with the third time putting an end to the evening as Reggie said he couldn't see. And so, of course, that's an automatic fight called right there. His eye was pretty jacked. And it was a little surreal to see, to be honest, because it was an upset to most. I mean, Barnett's been with the promotion since the first event, and I just thought he was going to have the veteran mentality here to not necessarily school Richardson, but maybe just show him that there are levels, and it ended up the other way. Honestly, Richardson seems to be on another level, and I kind of wonder if this isn't the beginning of kind of the passing of the guard kind of deal, where we're seeing the original guys and the veterans being overtaken by the young up and comers now, and it's a little bit bittersweet, to be honest. There, either way though. TKO for Richardson in the second round. 4-0 now, and a world champion to boot. Absolutely amazing stuff from the cowboy, Keith Rockstar Richardson. Looking forward to his next one. No clue at this time who it's going to be or when. I'm assuming he's going to need some time to, at minimum, heal his hands here, because he did go to war. It was only 2 rounds, but there was a lot of fucking punches landed. Congratulations to Keith Richardson, the new bantamweight champion at BKFC. Moving on to the co-main at BKFC 52. This was a lightweight scrap, and one that I was really fucking looking forward to, as we had Tony Loco Soto taking on Kevin Kroom. This was a weird fight. Kevin Clinch Kroom had one mission, and that was to clinch. That was absolutely his mission, his entire game plan. And it basically, from what I could tell, land shots in the clinch, as well as he was really trying to wear out Loco. It didn't work, though. It was ugly to watch. I'm going to be brutally honest here with Kevin Kroom. I understand what his game plan was, and I give him full credit for going out there and implementing that game plan through the entire 5 rounds. But as a fan, oh, it was ugly, it was annoying, it was frustrating, it was so many bad words all put into one. As I say, as a fan, it was just ugly to watch, and it was not very exciting. For me anyway. Let me know down in the comments, obviously, what you thought about the co-main. I thought they were going to go out there and bang. I thought this was going to be absolute fireworks. And Kroom fooled us all, I guess. He went out there and implemented a different game plan. And it didn't work for him, though. Bottom line, it didn't work for him. It didn't gain him any fans, I don't believe. And he didn't win the fight. So Tony Soto earns the unanimous decision, stays undefeated, 6-0 now, folks. 6-0. I mean, we got guys that are 3-0, 2-0, getting title shots. It is fucking time for Tony Soto to go for that belt. No more excuses, BKFC. It's time. Before we move on to the feature fight of the night, I just wanted to kind of take a sidestep and show you this beer that I'm sipping on after the fights here. It looks like fucking orange juice. And speaking of weird, it's one of the weirdest beers I've ever had. It's an orange creamsicle sour ale, and it's not horrible, but it's weird. I wouldn't want to have more than one of them in one sitting, and it's not exactly crushable, but it is slightly refreshing and quite tasty, kind of like drinking a creamsicle with a little bit of a sour finish. Anyway, off the beer, back to bare knuckle, because in the feature fight, we had Jeremy Holloway. He was taking on Cameron Van Camp. This scrap was going down at 165 pounds. And if you've watched me before, you know I'm brutally honest when it comes to reviewing these fights or recapping them. And this was the slowest scrap of the evening for me. But all in all, it wasn't terrible. It just seemed slower than the rest of the action in the evening, maybe. Both had their moments, but it was never really close to being ended by either man. In the end, Holloway gets the unanimous decision, and you know what? Holloway's one that I think I might have said it before, that somebody to keep your eye on, because he does have a ton of potential in there, and he only seems to be getting better. BKFC 52 also played host to a featherweight scrap between Solon Staley, as he was taking on Derek Gates. And there was an absolute crazy pace to open this scrap here, with both landing. Staley landed some uppercuts late in the first and got the knockdown. Gates beat the count, but he didn't answer the bell for the second round. And it was hard to see. It was impossible to see real time because of the camera angle. And even in the replay, it was hard to see. But Derek Staley ended up catching Gates right in the fucking throat with one of the uppercuts. And when the round ended, you could see Gates almost like gagging, like he was gonna fucking puke all over the canvas or something. And I knew right away he got hit in the throat. And then of course he was having trouble with that. Obviously, I mean, you get fucking uppercutted in the throat. That's enough to make any man fucking quit. When you can't breathe, you probably couldn't swallow. Scary shit. And I hope Derek Gates is okay. But that does count as obviously a TKO, doctor stoppage for Solon Staley. So a good scrap, but a scary ending. Next up, we had Brandon Bushaw versus Josh Marr. And I do apologize, I didn't get what weight these guys were scrapping at. But it was an even opening round. More of what seemed like a feeling out process, which is a little bit strange for bare knuckle boxing. We don't generally have that feeling out process like you do in boxing or MMA for that matter. But Brandon Bushaw, he was done fucking around in the second as he served up a massive right hand to end the fight. Brandon Bushaw by KO. Beautiful, beautiful work. The next bout I wanted to touch on here was at 155 pounds, as we had Jeremiah Scott taking on Chevy Bridges. Yes, the return of Chevy Bridges. It was a slow start. It seemed like a slow start there. With a massive left hand landing by Bridges. It was a late knockdown. Scott was in trouble, but somehow he fucking survived, man. I thought it was done. Scott came from behind here to KO Bridges in the third round. Beautiful counter striking on display by Jeremiah Scott to get him the victory. The second scrap of the main card at BKFC 52 was at bantamweight, and we saw Ace Samples take on Derek Perez. Something about Derek Perez I really like. There's just something there that he's just got that fucking dog in him, and we've seen it before. Now Derek Perez looked absolutely incredible out there. Good back and forth through the first, but Perez put Samples away early in the second. I can't wait to see what's next for Perez. I mean, I know it's cliche, and us as fight fans do it all the time. That the dude's barely out of the ring, and we're already thinking about what's next, you know. But you can't help it when he puts on a performance like that. You just can't help but wonder what's next. And opening up the main card at BKFC 52, we saw Truck-On Carson as he absolutely destroyed Deshaun. Now, two things here. I didn't get Deshaun's first name, and I didn't get what weight they were fighting at, because BKFC were not fucking around tonight. They were go, 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 go with the pace. The pace was just constant. Absolutely love the work, ladies and gentlemen, there. Keep it up. It's such a refreshing pace compared to a traditional boxing card or MMA, you know, a UFC card. Sometimes they're stretched out far too long. Never the case here, it seems, with BKFC, and I love it. But they got a quick start, and this was a quick fight. I damn near missed the whole thing by the time I started it up and grabbed some supper. I thought I had more time, but obviously I didn't. But I did get to see the finish here as Truck-On Carson absolutely destroyed Deshaun Middleton. Oh, I did get his last name, pardon me. Deshaun Middleton, yes, that is correct. Carson destroyed Middleton in the first round. 3 knockdowns before the TKO victory was awarded. Carson looked fucking good. Keep on trucking. One last thing I wanted to touch on at BKFC 52 is we saw a little interview there with President David Feldman. And super fucking exciting news here, folks, for myself anyway. Now, I know a lot of my viewers out there are not from Canada. I'm in the asshole of Canada here, right, pretty much smack dab in the middle. And Feldman is saying that the BKFC is coming to Canada, folks. So, I mean, I'm fucking so pumped for this. You can't even believe it. I just had to share it with you guys. And it also shows the growth of the company and the sport as well, moving into another country now. Feldman was saying that they're going to have tryouts in Canada, and then it kind of sounds like he has some kind of series possibly in mind for Canada. I don't know. Details are pretty much nil at this time, other than that they are planning on entering Canada in 2024, which is going to be an absolute huge fucking year for the company and the sport. Provinces involved, obviously yet to be disclosed, but come to Winnipeg, BKFC. You won't be disappointed. We have an awesome venue, the convention center that probably seats like 1,000, 1,500, between 1,000, 2,000 people, tables, a little bit of general seating, of course, or we got the big arena, depending. We got venues for you, that's what I'm saying. The commission, I don't know. I would have to look more into the commission here in Manitoba to see if they would even allow it. I don't know what's going on. It's combat sports is pretty much, it doesn't happen here. The last time there was an event was years ago now, and fans like myself are absolutely drooling at the mouth to go out and watch a live event of any fucking combat sport. So that's why I'm so excited about BKFC coming to Canada. Even if I have to travel, maybe it's something that I can go check out. And just the thought of that puts a big ass smile on my ugly face. So there we go, though. BKFC 52 in the books, and it was a great night there in South Carolina. Awesome finishes, tons of finishes. I think if I'm not mistaken, I didn't catch them, but if I heard correctly, I think even the two prelim bouts ended with knockouts. So heavy finish card, and honestly couldn't ask for much more. The one fight there, Tony Soto, Kevin Kroom, like I say, I was disappointed with how that turned out, but in the end, I understand why that game plan was implemented. Just boring as a fan to watch, that's all. Anyway, that's all I got for you folks for now. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Stay up to date. Everything BKFC here on Bowls, Beers, and Brawls. Till next time, everybody, take care and peace.
My fingers slipping from all over the train. I wonder how we had